What if the very thing you fear most, being alone, is actually the key to unlocking your greatest potential? Forget everything you think you know about loneliness, because in this video, we're diving deep into the unseen power of chosen solitude and its profound connection to universal energy. Prepare to transform your perspective on personal growth and inner strength. We're living in a world that right now, in September 2025, seems more connected than ever before, yet ironically, many of us feel more isolated. Everywhere you look, there's a screen, a notification, a constant hum of expectation. This relentless connectivity has blurred a critical distinction, one that holds the key to profound inner peace and untapped power. The difference between loneliness and solitude. See, loneliness, that gnawing ache, is an unwanted state. It's the pain of feeling disconnected, a void where companionship should be. It's when you're surrounded by people, or perhaps utterly alone, but you yearn for a connection that isn't there, a resonance that feels absent. It's the feeling that no one truly understands, that you're adrift in a sea of faces. But solitude, on the other hand, is a choice. It's a deliberate, intentional embrace of being by yourself. It's an act of self-love, a conscious decision to step away from the noise and demands of the world, not because you're rejected or abandoned, but because you're seeking something deeper within. Think about it for a moment. Our society, with its relentless pace and digital pulse, pushes us to always be on, always connected. We're encouraged to respond instantly, to share every moment, to constantly update our status. There's almost a subtle, pervasive pressure to never be truly alone, isn't there? We see this fear of missing out, or FOMO, driving us to scroll endlessly, to say yes to every invitation, even when our inner self is screaming for a moment of quiet. This constant external focus fosters a deep, often unconscious negative association with being by oneself. The moment we find ourselves alone, without a distraction, a phone in hand, or a task to complete, a subtle anxiety can creep in. Have you ever felt that? That immediate, almost reflexive thought that perhaps you should be doing something else, or that being alone means something is wrong, that you're missing out, or that you're simply not valued. It's a powerful, often subconscious narrative, isn't it? It tells us that our worth is measured by our connections, by the constant affirmation of others. But what if this narrative is not just incomplete, but fundamentally misleading? What if this fear of alone time is actually keeping us from our greatest power? What if the very act of stepping into solitude, of choosing to disconnect, is not a withdrawal from life, but an intentional, powerful act of profound self-care, a deliberate reconnection with your truest self? It's about reclaiming your inner sanctuary. Imagine your mind as a bustling city, constantly filled with traffic, noise, and distractions. Intentional solitude is like finding a hidden garden in the heart of that city, a place where the sounds of the world fade, and you can finally hear the gentle rustle of your own thoughts. It's not about escaping others. It's about purposefully connecting with you. It's a radical act in a world that constantly pulls you outwards. So, how do we begin to cultivate this chosen solitude? It doesn't always require a remote cabin in the woods or a week-long silent retreat, though those are certainly powerful options. Often, it begins with small, deliberate practices. Consider starting with a digital detox, even if it's just for an hour or a morning. Turn off your phone, close your laptop, and simply exist without the constant pull of notifications. You might feel a twitch, a phantom vibration in your pocket at first, but push through that initial discomfort. Or perhaps a nature walk, leaving your earbuds behind. Pay attention to the crunch of leaves underfoot, the subtle shift in the breeze, the scent of the earth. Allow your senses to ground you in the present moment, away from internal chatter. Another powerful practice is quiet contemplation. This could be anything from 5 minutes of silent meditation to journaling your thoughts without judgment, or simply sitting by a window, watching the world without feeling the need to interact with it. The key here is shifting our perception. We're taught to view alone time as a void, an emptiness to be filled, often with external stimuli. But what if we started seeing it differently? What if we understood it as fertile ground, a rich open space where something truly profound can grow? Think of a fallow field left alone for a season. It might look empty, but beneath the surface, the soil is replenishing, preparing for new life, new abundance. Our inner world is much the same. When we allow ourselves this space, free from constant input, we create room for introspection, for self-discovery, for creativity to blossom, and for our deepest values to resurface. It's in these quiet moments that we can finally hear our own inner wisdom, untainted by external expectations. It's where we reconcile our experiences, process our emotions, and clarify our intentions. It's where true personal growth truly takes root. But it goes even deeper than just self-care and self-discovery, much, much deeper. What if solitude is not merely a personal retreat, but a conduit, a direct line to something far greater than ourselves? What if, in our quietest moments, we become more receptive to a universal energy, an interconnectedness that weaves through all of existence? The idea of a universal energy field, a cosmic web that connects everything, has echoed through philosophical and spiritual traditions for millennia. It suggests that at a fundamental level, we are not isolated beings, but part of a larger intelligent design, a boundless ocean of awareness. And it is in stillness, in the deliberate reduction of external noise and internal chatter, that our personal frequency becomes clear, allowing us to tune into this grander symphony. Think of it like a radio. When there's too much static, too many conflicting signals, you can't hear the music clearly. But when you find that perfect quiet frequency, the sound comes through with breathtaking clarity. Our minds, when bombarded by stimulation, are filled with static. Solitude helps us find our clear channel. This isn't a new concept, not by any stretch. Throughout history, countless wisdom traditions, spiritual practices, and philosophical schools have emphasized the profound importance of solitude for deeper insight and expanded awareness. Consider the ancient hermits who retreated to caves and deserts, seeking spiritual enlightenment. Think of the Buddha, who found profound truth under the Bodhi tree in a solitary moment of meditation. The Stoics spoke of the importance of inner retreat, a citadel within that no external force could breach. Many of the great thinkers, artists, and innovators across cultures and centuries found their breakthroughs not in crowded rooms, but in quiet contemplation, in the deliberate act of separating themselves from the world to connect with something beyond it. They understood that to truly hear the whispers of inspiration, the roar of the world had to be silenced, even if just for a while. And it's not just anecdotal or spiritual. There are emerging scientific theories and personal experiences that hint at this heightened intuition and creativity found in quiet states. Have you ever had a eureka moment? Not when you were frantically trying to solve a problem, but when you were taking a walk, in the shower, or just before falling asleep. That's often your brain's default mode network at work. In psychology, we understand that our brain operates in different networks. When we're focused on external tasks, our task-positive network is highly active. But when we allow our minds to wander, to be free from specific goals, our default mode network takes over. This DMN is associated with self-reflection, introspection, future planning, and crucially, creative insight and problem solving. It's the network that allows your brain to make connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, to process information, and to come up with those brilliant, out-of-the-box solutions. Solitude provides the ideal conditions for your DMN to flourish, allowing for a deeper form of internal processing that often feels like intuition or sudden insight. It's like giving your subconscious mind the space and quiet it needs to sort through all the data, synthesize it, and present you with answers you didn't even realize you had. It's where your inner compass calibrates, where your true north becomes clearer. When the external world grows silent, your inner voice, your intuition, speaks with undeniable clarity. So, if solitude isn't isolation, but rather a profound connection, a powerful conduit to both your deepest self and universal energies, what does that mean for us right now? It means that choosing to spend time alone is not a sign of weakness or loneliness, but an act of profound strength and wisdom. It's an intentional embrace of a fundamental human need, one that our modern world often tries to bury under a mountain of distractions. It's an invitation to listen, to learn, and to grow in ways you never thought possible. Perhaps the greatest power of solitude isn't just about what you gain, but what you rediscover, the profound connection that has always been within you, waiting for the silence to be heard. What hidden truths might you uncover when you dare to simply be with yourself and open yourself to the unseen universal power that surrounds and permeates all things?